0.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Chris with Croft CNC and CNC for Newbies here. I just wanted to go live and show you guys a little process of utilizing your hobby size machines to make car parts, to make automotive aero enhancement. As a lot of people on my personal pages know, my wife got a Mustang recently, and we scanned it for the wide body, and we're pairing up some different wide body pieces from different cars that I like, from different parts. One of those is the rear window covering I have to do. So there's a nice window covering for a 2015 Mustang that I like, but being that my wife's is a 23, there's not really much out there yet that's for the wide body and everything. So we scanned her car, and then I took a scan of the 15, made an STL file, merged it all together, and then decided to go ahead and show you guys the process of getting that into a usable part and being able to cut it on our CNC machines. So let's do this. We're going to scale this by 500%. There. Okay. So now this is something you guys can actually see. Let's do screen share, window. And here's a side scoop of a Mustang window. Okay. So this is in Cura because I like using that for looking at my models, just to kind of see things. Okay. Now in real life, that's going to be a little bit bigger. And with it being a little bit bigger, it's going to take some finagling on setup. So let me open a Spire here, and I'll show you guys how we actually utilize our machines. Okay. I'll show you guys how we utilize our machines to make these automotive parts, which I think is really cool. I like to use a product called Renboard or Ren Tool Board, Ren Tooling. So in the job setup, I just posted up a big block. This is an imaginary block of a high density foam. So I can click OK. I'm going to go to modeling. Going to open desktop Mustang. Okay. So we're going to take this. We're going to move it around until we get something that looks pretty good. Let's center the model. We'll take it. Okay. We need to rotate that down around some. Okay, there's that aspect. That looks good. That does not look good. Let's get that tilted a little more. Okay. Now that looks a little off. Tilt that a little more. Okay. Now that looks pretty good. Everything's centered. Let's import. I'm going to lift it all the way up and I'm going to import it. Okay. At this point, you're going to be very tempted to shrink your material size down. Do not do that. Okay. Leave your material size large, and I'll show you why here in a second. If you lack the length of tooling or the Z clearance to utilize large sheets of foam, like the CNC for Newbies machines, you can do 6-inch, you can do 8-inch, and you can do 12-inch thick pieces of foam with the new Pro Series machines because of the adjustable gantry. So with that, you don't have a problem with this. But when you have a much smaller Z, you have to utilize Aspire's slicing function, which is right here, slice visible model. And I do it by number 5s set, and I try and get all of these within, very near to each other. I like 0.5. 0.5. All right. Now, I clicked on that before I should have, but this will give you an idea. So now what we can do is we can actually take these pieces and we can assign them to their own levels. So very first thing we want to do is take everything down, slice 1. There's that. And then this has the outlying vector boundary for it. I actually moved that to its own layer. I'll blank that and I'll blank that layer. Okay. Now I go to slice 2. I select that one. I select that. Copy to layer, or move to layer. Slice 2. Uncheck. Blanket. Now I do slice 3. And with slice 3, I select. And I move that to its own layer. Then I do 4. And it's just a repeating process. It's actually a pretty easy process. Okay. And now we do 5. Okay, so now at this point we have the we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's our main Mustang scoop. I can turn that one off. And then we can actually build all those in layers and see what we've got. Okay. So now I can take those slices and I can turn off all the slices but 5. Turn off all the vectors but 5. And I can move that up here. I can now do the same thing for 4. But when you look at it, you'll be able to tell where everything's at, and you'll be able to move it a little closer, a little further away, whatever the case may be. And by cutting those layers like that, you'll really be able to organize your cut list and get a full vision of what your parts, your slices are going to look like. Let's put that there. Now we can drag those. Okay. So now we've got 1. And with 1, we're right there. And I'll turn on our regular one. Put that right there. Now we can select all of it. Go to our transform tools. 42, so 43 by 43. Close that. Go back to the drawing tab, and then once we go to the drawing tab, we can shrink our whole design down for this to be our drawing. And then we can just do our individualized roughing passes in blue or pink foam from Lowe's or Home Depot, any of the big box stores, and just go from there. And it's really that simple. I mean, it's nothing. So let's see here. All right, so now we'll go 43 by 43, and total height on that's going to be, let's say, 3 inches. We'll go back to the 2D view. We'll select all. We'll drag it right in there. And we'll do one of those. go forward with it. Now we have our scoop and our layers. If we go 3D, as you can see, bottom layer, next to bottom layer, next layer, top layer. This is what it'll look like assembled. You use Super 78 spray foam adhesive, or spray adhesive for foam, and that will stick that foam together for you, so you can coat it with drywall putty, epoxy resin, anything like that to get a nice good shell on it. Once you get the shell on it, then you make a mold of it. You can do as much or as little body work as you want to it. The more you do in the beginning, the less you have to do later on. And yeah, it works out pretty good. All right, guys. That's it. Peace.